I'm at the back of my apartment complex. There's about 600 apartments here, and unfortunately, they put me in the back here, which is right next to a quarry. It's going to be hot today. The forecast is calling for 103 degrees. This past couple of years, I've been told a couple of things. One of my family members said, "Hey, you know what? You're old. All your productive life is over. You might as well just get out of the way." I remember when I was in Colorado, at that time, the governor of Colorado had mentioned that everybody over 60 had a right to get out of the way, commit euthanasia. And I thought, well, where does that idea and thought come from? It's certainly unbiblical. You start getting gray hair. You can't move the way you did when you were younger. You need a lot of health aids. And it's easy to become discouraged and to, think that, it's all over for me. And I just want to encourage you not to think like that, because, and here's why. You've had years of experience, years of failures, years of learning things. If I had my life to do over, I'd do it so differently. It wouldn't be the same, because I've learned. People that say, "Oh, if I had my life to do over, I'd do it the same way." Well, they haven't learned anything. And I have learned a lot of things. And you have all that experience and maturity to pass on to others. And yeah, you're limited, but you know what? That's where God gets the glory, because you can't do it in your strength anymore. You can't do it with, that fresh brain that got up in the morning and was willing and raring to go, and you thought clear and everything. Now you got to work through the fog and everything, but God gets the glory that way. This morning I was reading through Joshua. They're getting ready to go into the promised land. They've been in the desert 40 years. All the people that were there are dead. God didn't even let Moses go into the promised land. Most of Joshua's friends and relatives and people he knew are dead too. So you got a whole new generation that God wanted to take them into the promised land. And who's he going to use but Joshua, an old man? And he tells Joshua 3 times, "Be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous." And then the people picked up on that. And they said to Joshua and to all the people, "Be strong and courageous." They had learned through the failures of their parents and those that preceded them to not act in unbelief. The greatest time in your life to act in faith is when you're old and you can't depend on your youthful strength, your youthful energy. And yeah, you're limited in many ways, but that's where God shines and he gets the glory. And I was in seminary, and I remember I was playing a lot of sports at the time. And I remember I came across this verse, and it has registered with me all these years. God is not impressed with the legs of a horse or the strength of a man. He's impressed by those who trust in him and have faith in him. And I have tried to live that all these years. But the greatest time is now when the things that I used to depend on are no longer there. So let me encourage you to stay strong, to recognize that if you live over 60, God has a reason for you to still be alive. He's still got things for you to do. He's still got people for you to meet. He's still got your wisdom to spread to other people. God bless you. Have a good day. Don't get discouraged. Keep looking up. God's got amazing things yet ahead for you. Bye-bye.